Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rhiannon and today I'm going to be showing you guys all of the books that I either bought or received in December. I can't believe that this is going to be my last book haul of 2022. I have definitely spent way too much money this year on books, as you will have seen if you've watched my previous hauls. So we'll see what happens with that going into 2023. I would still love to do monthly book hauls for you guys, but I definitely do want to cut back on what I'm buying because I am just trying to save money for a lot of life things in general. So it is a goal of mine to cut back, but we'll see if I'm successful. I always have a treat yourself moment throughout the month where I do tend to just splurge on books, so don't hold me accountable for that, but it is definitely a goal of mine. This December though, I was very kindly sent some books. I have also bought some books and I did actually manage to get a few of these at a bargain price, so I could not refuse them and I'm really excited to show you guys what I got. So without further ado, let's just dive into the haul. I am going to be kicking this video off with some gifts that I got. The first of those is Malice by John Gwynne, and this was very kindly sent to me by Liam. Now there is a little gift note in here. This was sent to me before Christmas, so I don't know if Liam intended it as a Christmas present or if it was just something to cheer me up, but it does just say, "Hi Rhiannon, heard you've not been having the best day. Hope this cheers you up a bit. I'm always here if you ever need to chat," which is just lovely in itself. You never need to send me anything. I truly feel all the love from you guys through your comments and interactions with me, but this definitely cheered me up, Liam. Thank you so much. This is a book series that I've wanted to start for the longest time. I do have some John Gwynne books up here behind me, as you can see, and he's just an author that I've heard fantastic things about, so I did have this one on my wish list and it was an amazing surprise when it did arrive at my doorstep, and I cannot wait to hopefully start this series this year now. For this one I am just going to read you what it says on the back because I genuinely have no idea what this book series is about. Every time I look into it I just tend to forget after a few days, so yeah, I'm just gonna read you what it says here because it can describe it a lot better than I ever could. It says, "The banished lands have a violent past where armies of men and giants clashed in battle. An uneasy peace reigns, but now giants stir once more. The very stones weep blood, and there are sightings of gigantic whims. Those who can still read the signs see a prophecy realised. Sorrow will darken the world as angels and demons make it their battlefield. Young Corbin watches enviously as boys become warriors and yearns to join them, determined that he will make his family proud. It's only when everything he knows is threatened that he discovers the true cost of becoming a man. As the kings look to their borders and priests beg answers from the gods, only a chosen few know that the fate of the world will be decided between two champions, the black sun and the bright star, and with their coming will be a war to end all wars." That sounds insane. As you can tell, this is a very chunky book. All the books in this series are this size. I think there are 4 books in total, but I might be wrong, and it is an adult high fantasy book, as you probably guessed. So yeah, I'm very excited to dive into this one. As I've mentioned, heard nothing but amazing things, and once again a massive thank you, Liam, for sending this my way. It definitely made me feel a whole lot better, and yeah, I'm just forever thankful for you, so thank you so much. Next up, I have a Christmas present that was sent to me by Emily over at Emily Kathleen Reads, and this one is The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie in this gorgeous edition. So here's a closer look at the cover. You can see that it has really pretty gold foiling. This is also what the back looks like. Now I have started collecting these editions. I have 5 already in my collection, and so when this arrived I honestly couldn't believe it. I am actually starting the Poirot books this month. I'm so excited to finally get through the Poirot murder mysteries. He is such an infamous character. I've loved all of the ITV adaptations that I've seen, and so I really did want to dive into the books, and when I saw that these gorgeous editions were being printed I have of course added them all to my list and have purchased a few myself, as I mentioned, so this was definitely a lovely surprise. I will just say as well that she did also send me some Tony's salted caramel chocolate, I believe it was, and let me tell you, that didn't last long. I devoured it, so thank you again, Emily, for that, but I don't have it to show you guys unfortunately because yeah, didn't last long and it was delicious. Unfortunately, there isn't a synopsis anywhere on this book, and because I haven't read it, I can't tell you too much about it other than the fact that we follow Detective Hercule Poirot as he tries to solve a locked room murder mystery. So the quote in the back says, "Key is in the lock all right, sir. On the inside. Mr. Ackroyd must have locked himself in." That's literally all I know. As I mentioned, I am just starting off these books this month, and my plan is to try and get through at least one Poirot book per month now, so these will be getting read very, very soon, and yeah, I'm just so happy to own this stunning edition, and I cannot wait to add more to my collection. So again, massive thank you to Emily for this one. You really didn't have to, but I know you love Agatha Christie just as much as I do, and so I do really appreciate it, and I hope that you receive some Aggie C books for Christmas as well. Next up, we have a bit of a different book for me, and that one is Do This For You by Krissy. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am very much into my fitness, and one of the main activewear brands that I wear is Honor Active. Honor Active is a company founded by Krissy, who does post some YouTube videos. She is quite a successful YouTuber and of course business owner now, and I've wanted to buy this one for a while. However, I saw that the hardcover was on sale for £1.50, and of course I could not leave it there because you guys know I love a bargain, so I did end up purchasing it. I think it's more of a kind of self-help book rather than an autobiography, and yeah, it was meant to be £16.99, but of course I got it at a bargain price, so I finally decided to get it, and I'm really glad that I do have it now. This is probably one that I will just read from occasionally because, as I mentioned, it's not really a novel, it's just more of a self-help book, so we have different aspects to it like that. And it does just say here, Do This For You is your personal action plan for building your best life. Starting from the inside out, Krissy's expert coaching will help you to grow into a stronger, more confident you. I've never read a book like this before. I'm not really into my self-help books just because I've never really tried to get into them, so I thought reading this book that is written from a person that I know and admire would hopefully be a good start for me to get into the more self-help action plan type of books that can hopefully help me to grow as a person. Next up, I have bought a few thrillers, and I'm going to start off this stack by showing you guys 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. This is once again a beautiful book. The cover is really cool, but the star of the show are these sprayed edges. Look how insane they are, guys. I absolutely love it. This is the Waterstones exclusive edition of this book. I did have it pre-ordered because it was one of my most anticipated books of the year. As you can see, we have some detail on there as well, and I do believe that it is signed, so let me double check. Yes, it is. Oh my gosh, how exciting. So for those of you who don't know, Holly Jackson is the author of the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder books, which are some of my favourite books of all time. I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I want to say 2 years ago, maybe even 3, and I just completely fell in love. It was such an amazing and compelling YA murder mystery, and I just fell in love with all of the characters. I loved the complexity of the mysteries and how everything intertwined, and yeah, as it mentioned, it has become one of my favourite series. So when Holly Jackson announced that she was coming out with this book, I of course went to pre-order it straight away, saw this stunning edition, and was so glad that I did, because I honestly think that I would have cried if I didn't get this. All I know about this one is that we follow a group of friends who decide to go on a road trip in their RV. However, when their RV breaks down, they are stuck in the middle of nowhere and soon discover that this was no accident. They are now trapped in the middle of nowhere with someone wanting them dead. Then it just says here, with 8 hours until dawn, the 6th friend must escape or work out which one of them is the target. Buried secrets will be forced to light, and tensions inside the RV will reach deadly levels. Not all of them will survive the night. This is one that I am planning on reading in January, so if you would like to hear my thoughts on it, you can check out my weekly reading vlogs where I post daily updates on the books that I'm reading. I am going into this one with very high expectations, which I don't know if that's the best thing to do, but as I mentioned, I've never been disappointed by a Holly Jackson book, and I'm so excited now to read a new murder mystery book from her and see what she does. Next up, we have The Beach House by Beverly Jones. This is another instance of me getting a bargain. I was on the Works website, which is a kind of craft store here in the UK which does sell books, and I was essentially buying Christmas presents for some of my family members and buying craft stuff for my class in school. And as I was looking through the book section, I did stumble across all of the rest of the books in the haul, but this one was £2 I believe if you bought it individually, but then if you bought 3 books it would round it down to £5. So I of course bought 3 books because, as I mentioned, I was buying presents for family members anyway, and this did come in the deal. I have really been getting into my thrillers lately. They are such fast-paced books that do capture my attention from the get-go, and so I'm not feeling slumpy in any way. You guys know last year I had the worst reading slump of my life, and so I'm definitely in the mood to pick up faster paced books at the minute, especially because they hook me so quickly. In this one we follow Grace, and one day she returns to her home to find a body in a pool of blood with a menacing gift left for her. The community is of course shocked, they're very confused as to why this has happened, and so a police investigation investigation begins very shortly after this body is discovered. Grace, though, does seem to know who is after her. She might have changed her name and moved halfway across the world, but she has been waiting 17 years for what happened in the small Welsh town that she grew up in to catch up with her. And then it just says here, Grace might seem like the model neighbour and mother, but nobody in Lookout Beach, not even her devoted husband Elias, knows the real her, or how much blood is on her hands. I haven't actually seen this book before. I haven't read anything from this author before either, so this was very much an impulsive buy. However, it was a cheap one. I do love a thriller, as I mentioned, and this does sound like my type of book, so I'm really glad to now own it. This is probably one that I will read more towards the summertime just because of the setting, so maybe I will gift it to my mum to read first to see what she thinks, and then I will pick it up as we get into the warmer months. In the same vein, we have The Sinner by Caroline England. This was again in the Works 3 for £5 deal, and to be honest, I think it's the red cover that caught my interest. Anything bright I'm instantly looking at, so yeah, I think that's what drew me to this book, but I honestly can't remember what it's about. So it does just say here, every saint has a past, every sinner has a future, every confession has a price. To the unsuspecting eye, Dee Stevens has a perfect life as the vicar's wife, a devoted marriage to her charismatic husband Reverend Vincent, an adoring congregation, and a beautiful daughter. But beneath the surface, Dee is suffocating. Vincent is in control and he knows her every sin. Desperate, Dee escapes into a heady affair with Cal, an old schoolmate. But is Cal the saviour she thinks he is? What dark secrets does he harbour, and to what lengths will Vincent go when he uncovers the truth? So I feel like this is just going to be a really dramatic psychological thriller. At least that's what I'm hoping for anyway, which again should be a fast read for me. I didn't realise it was going to be this chunky though. This is about 430 pages, which I feel like is quite long for a thriller, but that might just be me. Again though, for less than £2 I did decide to pick it up, and even though I'm not quite sure when I'll get to it yet, I am glad that I decided to buy it. Next up we have an absolute steal, you guys. I have the Land of Stories books by Chris Colfer. This is the full collection, which was down from £47.94 to £10. Let that just sink in, guys. I saved over £30 on this box set, and these are books that I've wanted to buy for so long anyway. I love Chris Colfer. I have done ever since I first saw him on Glee, and so when I found out that he had some middle grade books out, I knew I had to buy them. However, I have seen this set before and I didn't really want to buy it at the time because it was quite expensive, and so when I saw it for £10, I honestly jumped for joy and put it straight in my basket. As you're probably able to tell, I haven't actually taken them out of the plastic wrapping yet, so I am just going to do that quickly. So we have book 1, which is The Wishing Spell, book 2, which is The Enchantress Returns, book 3, which is A Grim Warning, book 4, which is Beyond the Kingdoms, book 5, which is An Author's Odyssey, and book 6, which is the final one, which is Worlds Collide. These are such stunning books. Like, I am absolutely obsessed with the covers of every single one. That is definitely one of the things that drew me into this book series. And then, as I don't really know anything about the books themselves, it does just say on here, through the mysterious powers of a cherished book of stories, twins Alex and Connor leave their world behind and find themselves in a foreign land full of wonder and magic, where they come face to face with the fairy tale characters they grew up reading about. Chris Colfer invites readers to join Alex and Connor on their fairy tale adventures from the beginning in this gorgeous gift set, which includes all 6 books in the Land of Stories series. I can honestly say that I'm so excited to dive into these books. I definitely feel like I will have to try and fit the first one onto either my January or February TBR, and hopefully that means that I can finish out this series this year and let you guys know what I think of all of the books, because as I mentioned, these are some that I've seen around but I haven't really heard anything about them actually, so I'm excited to dive in, see what I think, and of course I will tell you guys my thoughts on every single book as and when I read them. And then closing off this haul, we have Disney The Fashion Collection colouring book. You guys know I love my colouring books, and when I saw this one on the works down from £10 to I think £3, I couldn't leave it there. And I did also buy this for my niece as well for her birthday, because she loves colouring and she does love fashion, so I thought this would be perfect for her. But let me just show you some example of the pages. So here we have Cruella and Belle. I just found these two, which I love, of Jafar and Hades. They will definitely be fun to colour in, but yeah, it's essentially, oh my goodness, that is beautiful. We have Mulan there as well, but yeah, it's just essentially a whole whole bunch of photos that you can colour in that features a lot of the Disney princesses and villains, and just some kind of standard colouring pages as well. This is one that I will definitely get a lot of use out of. I think that my niece will love hers as well. The artwork inside is stunning, as you've seen just from the few pages that I showed you, and even though this technically isn't a novel, I did want to throw it in here in case you guys were looking for something like this for yourselves. And there we have it, you guys. These are all of the books that I either bought or received in December. It's a pretty good stack if you ask me, and I can honestly say that I'm excited for each and every single one of these. If you have read any of the books from this stack, please do let me know your thoughts on them down below. Your guys' opinions mean the world to me, and they help me decide which books to prioritise over others. If you have made it this far into the video and would like to let me know that you're still here, the emoji that I've chosen for today is a sword. Malice, the first book that I hold, does have a sword on the cover, and since I've hauled a lot of thrillers this month, I feel like that is also a very fitting emoji. So if you don't have anything in particular that you would like to say, but you would like to let me know that you're still here, please go ahead and comment that now. As well as that, please don't forget to click the like button if you like this video, and the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. But that is it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You truly do mean the world to me, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!